Making sure I got my Sky hat back there.
Do you own a Sky?
We are going to Sky via Zoom today.
No, I know that, but do you own a Sky?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's and the
When is that?
the CPX-2 9mm with red
Good
dot.
morning. You going to go on the meeting?
Beautiful.
And
I didn't know that you could put
Okay,
optics on
10
there.
o'clock.
it comes standard, and you can see the red dots.
Really?
See you in a second.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, there's
And
the,
nice.
that's the co-witness.
What number is it?
CPX-2, which means it's a 9mm without the safety. CPX-1 would be the same thing, but with a thumb safety. And then the CPX-3 and 4 are the same things, but in 380.
What's RD mean on the end of that? They have one called CPX2RD.
Red dot.
Does that come with it?
Yeah.
The red dot comes with it?
Yep, and you can see it's on right now.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a co-witness.
Very nice.
Well, it's time to call Scott, see if he's got.
Yeah, it's nothing in the magazine, nothing chambered. It's double action there.
Is it 9mm, Larry?
Yes, that's a 9.
A 9?
Correct. There it
You
comes.
got to get used to that. It's still a little snappy, isn't it?
No.
No. Last
Hey
time I
there.
shot one, it just was almost fell out of my hands.
I see Mr. Scott is signing on, but
Hey, can you see me yet?
currently without video. There we go.
There he is.
Hey. How
That's
Yeah.
are you guys?
good.
I was just
Good.
calling you, Scott.
No worries. That was you. Okay, good. All right.
That was me. I just wanted to make
All
sure you were good.
Hey, so I got you on my phone just so we can walk around. I'm in the conference room now here at Sky, but they're going to kick me out here in a minute. They've got some operations meetings they're going to do. And
Okay.
we are, I just wanted to come in here and look and kind of show you around a little bit, but are you guys ready to kind of get going?
We can.
Well, just as the moderator here on Zoom, I am recording. So based on
Okay.
your approvals or something that I should take out, we will end up putting this up on YouTube and providing a
Okay.
link to our members that did not attend.
Okay, well, what we'll do is we'll look in here for a little bit. I'll show you some of the options that we've come up with as far as our different colors and things with Sky, and then we'll take a walk in the back here, and we will figure out, go into too much detail because it is, a manufacturing facility, but we're going to we'll give you a tour, and we will just kind of show you some of the processes.
Great. And
Sounds good.
based on
All
that,
right.
I will share the video with you for your approval before we share it. So if there's any
Excellent. Thank you.
manufacturing that you want eliminated, anything like that, I'll be your editor.
Okay, well, that's good. But we're not going to do any, we're not going to go through any major trade secrets or anything. We'll be okay.
Oh man. Now we're disappointed. We wanted trade
Oh,
secrets.
sorry, fellas. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, funny. So, like I said, it's, I think Barry and I talked, and it's not, well, let me preface it by saying, at one time I shot for Colt Manufacturing, right? So I shot with them. I shot a lot of 3-gun with them. And when I went to visit them, I said, hey, do you guys have like a museum or something that, has all the old cool stuff? And they just kind of looked at me and went, no, it's a machine shop, Now that said, I did get to see when they moved from Hartford to West Hartford, they had one of the old Browning prototype 1911s in in a filing cabinet to get around. So I did get to see that. That was pretty neat.
Are you outside now, Scott?
Yeah, I'm going to walk in here. Bear with me for a second. We're going to go through the process of how we make the magic happen. So let me walk around the corner into the shop. So here we are. We're in receiving. This is where stuff gets shipped in and out of. Like for example, this right here just came back from heat treat. This is stainless steel bar stock, and I'll show you kind of the process of what this goes through. Can you guys hear me okay? I mean, it is a machine shop. It does get kind of loud.
Right now it's
We
fine.
can hear you.
You're good.
Okay, good.
And just a reminder, anybody who got
Let me know if
you can mute your own.
what's that?
I was just saying for those that are attending, if there's background noise where they are, just go ahead and mute so we don't get that interference.
Oh, no. Okay, we're good. But so, for example, there's some of the bar stock for the slides. Here's some of the barrels that have come back. Right. So they come back and they're, I mean, it's a commodity. You can see. Everything comes back in a big, usually in a big bin of some kind. Here's, for example, the magazine bodies. You can see that have come back from being nitrided, black nitride, up in Jacksonville.
Can you turn your camera the other way so we can see more?
I
I don't know if you can or not.
don't know.
Can you flip it on the side?
About that. Or you mean just wider shots?
Well, that looks good.
Yeah, the wide angle shot.
So these are the magazine bodies. And as we come in here, this is receiving, so we get our raw materials here. And then you can see it's a big old machine shop.
Oh,
We cut a lot of chips. You can tell, these are the machines that work on the barrels and the slides and the receiver blocks, the aluminum receiver blocks. So we can maybe look at different parts of the process. So I showed you the bar stock for the slides. I believe it's 17-4 stainless steel. And then they go through our first process. And they end up looking like this.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all, it's amazing for the price point that we have. I mean, it is top-notch manufacturing. So let's see here. What else can we find as far as our processes? So there's more of the same. And then after two processes, this is what the slide looks like. This one has a cutout for our red dot model. I don't know if you guys have started shooting anything with a red dot on it. I am just starting. And then as we continue down the process, you can see this is a aluminum bar stock that we make our receivers out of, or the receiver goes in the grip and actually gets the serial number.
Hi, Tony.
So there's that. I'm trying to find out where we have some receivers for you to look at. See if we can find any. I don't see any there. Hi, guys. Can I steal one of these real quick? Oh, here we go. Here's our receiver block. It goes in the grip. This has actually got one more process to take this big side off of it. But the serial number will be engraved right there, and then this will be pinned into the grip module.
So Scott, does the owner of the company work in there?
He can do everything in here. Oh, let's see where we at. Yeah, he can do everything in here. Joe Roebuck. He was going into a meeting. I was hoping to get to introduce you. We'll see if we can before we are done. But he's done all this stuff. He can run all these things, but it's best for him to be, taking care of other stuff at this point. But his background is machining and, tool and die and machining and coming up with, he loves finding solutions to issues. Like in his past, he's made medical devices and medical tools and things like that. So he's very, very sharp and very, he is always thinking, always thinking.
Scott,
So,
one of our members got a question. Go ahead, Rolly.
Okay.
Can you show us one of those CNC machines running?
I'm trying to find one that's cutting right now, and yeah, let's see if we can do that. Here, hold on a second.
What's a CNC machine?
Computer, what is it?
CNC is a computerized running machine, either a milling machine, lathe, or whatever.
Yeah, that's basically how it is. So, for example, here's one. Oh, sorry, you're still looking at my big mug here. There we go. So here's one that's set up, and there are fixtures that will hold. The bar stock and that type of thing, and then they will start the cutting process. And there might be 2 or 3 processes while that part is being manufactured. And so these guys come in and they put the part in the fixture. And they push start, and then the program within the machine actually will cut whatever it's programmed to cut, and then it will it might be a different operation. It might be called Op 1, and so Op 1 might be finished, and then they'll take it out. Then they'll take it out of the machine, and they will. They'll take it out of the machine and they'll get it ready for Op 2, which will be the next series of cuts that it'll receive. Part of the problem with trying to show you the cut is that there's a lot of cooling fluid that's used in this process. As that tool head cuts the metal, it creates the heat and things that won't allow it to, the cooling fluids don't allow it to burn and scorch and that type of thing. So it's a little bit hard to see. I don't even have an open window to show you, but that machine is cutting right now, and that one's cutting more slides. So it'll cut more slides, and we'll get more of them brought out for the next process. So I wish I could see a little more clearly inside the machine, but we'll see if there's another one here that is a little better. What's up, fellas? You got anything cutting at the moment? Oh, so here we have a barrel machine. That one's been cut. Putting a new one in here. So this is the chamber. You can see it.
Those barrels,
That's it,
those
right?
barrels, polygonal twist, or are they rifled?
Wonderful.
Thank you. Hold on a second. Couldn't hear you very well. We'll try again. Okay, go ahead and ask that again.
Those barrels rifled, or are they got a polygonal twist?
Nope, they are rifled. They're button rifled. So it goes in. Well, it's not button rifled, but it goes in and it creates regular rifling. It's not polygonal. Okay, so when those parts and pieces are all put together, when they're cut properly, and then after they go out for that nitride, that finishing, and then come back in, they come into assembly, which is right here where I'm going to take you. Hi, Toy. And so here we are in assembly, and these guys work, and they can put out a boatload of guns every day. We average, 825, depending on the day, depending on the parts that are available. But you can see that we have the guns put together. So, for example, this is our CPX2 with the slide cut for red dot sight. Okay, so our CPX2 is the model without an external safety in 9mm, and these are CPX2 CB, which designates the black grip, and then we call it TT is our symbol for, or our what we call our stainless slides. So this gun will go out like this in a package that'll have the red dot and the screw and the battery for the red dot in it. So this is an order here that could be going to any number of distributors. I'm not sure who this one's going to yet, but these will get test fired, and then they'll go into packaging. So they'll get packed in the boxes, and they will get shipped out. So we have different stages of assembly here. So here's our receiver, or our grip with the receiver installed in it. These guys just keep plugging away. They're good at what they do.
Is that made in house, Scott?
Everything, yeah.
Everything?
Other than
Okay.
other than some pins and some screws and things like that, little parts. Yeah, everything's made in house. You can see, here's more guns getting ready to go.
What's the What's the trigger on that CPX? Is that a double action trigger?
That's our hammer fired gun. So it's a double action trigger. Yep. So it's about 8-pound double action trigger. This is the frame for our CPX-1. This is our model with the safety.
And that's
In
a
9
double
millimeter.
action trigger as well, right?
Yes, sir. They're all double action at the moment. We're working on our next iteration. Is our DVG, which is called. It stands for David versus Goliath, and that is a.
It's a good one.
Yeah, well, it'll be a good one. There's not many out at the moment. We got to get them out and get them going. In fact, I was once we're done here on our call, I have to go over to the Volusia Top Gun indoor range and shoot some rounds through it. Through a couple. We had a couple little things that we needed to work on, and so we're doing that here this morning. But here's more. This is our CPX-1 again with the safety, with a black slide with the red dot sight cut. So
Nice.
pretty interesting stuff. And then here is where they're all set out and put in the boxes and sent off to our various distributors. We have distributors and then some key accounts that we sell to directly, but mostly through distribution through, for example, RSR is a company here in Florida. There's other distributors called Sport South and Lipsy's and Davidson's, and there's a number of them around. So these guns will go out, they'll be put in a little envelope, and then these are all for red dot guns. So the Crimson Trace red dot is right here that we include in the box. And I don't know if you guys have seen the red dot, but if you'll bear with me 1 second, I'll show you what it looks like on the gun here. So let me see. I just got to set my phone down.
It's an expensive red dot if it's Crimson Trace.
Well, Crimson Trace, but they've been doing really well for us.
They must give you a great price if you can sell that gun for
Oh yeah,
$339.
Well, that's the beauty of it, is that our previous COO and myself, I mean, we have great relationships with industry folks. I've been working in the firearms industry for the last 17 years. I've shot a lot competitively. I've been a lot on the advertising marketing side of things, and I also have been in sales quite a bit. And so if you're looking here, we can see, I'm going to change this around too. So here is what that red dot looks like on one of the guns. This is our CPX-4, which is a 380. We've suspended the manufacturing of this 380s for the moment, just because 9mm is so hot right now, and we need the tooling for our striker pistol. But this is one of our 380s with the Crimson Trace dot. I had to unload it. This is actually the one I carry, so I had to just unload that.
Oh, that's a 380?
Yes, sir.
The CPX-4 is a 380 then?
Yes, sir, but it has, so the difference is the CPX-4 is a 380 with the manual safety.
Got it.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's what it looks like. I got a little pocket lint going there in the red dot, but yeah, that's it right there. I'm really, when I first came on to Sky, it's almost been 2 years. One of the things I really liked was the 380 in that it shoots super soft. I'm a big guy, but I'm recoil sensitive. And the reason I say that, I learned that years ago from Jerry Michalik. I was shooting at Jerry Michalik's house, and Jerry was watching me shoot, and he said, "Man, what ammo you got on there?" And I said, "It was a 124 grain Black Hills full metal jacket." And I said, "Well, it's what they sent me for me to shoot here for the weekend." And he said, "Oh, that looks snappy." And I just laughed, because I'm thinking it's just a 9mm pistol. And And he actually showed me, he pointed out the difference, and he showed me, you know, the difference between his ammo and the one I was shooting. And sure enough, man, there's a difference. And so I'm you know, I'm not saying 9mm is unmanageable by any means. I'm just saying that I pay attention to recoil now that I was lucky enough to have Jerry point that out to me, you know. So
What's the length of
What,
that barrel on the 380?
3 inches, 3.1 inches.
How's that
And
compare to the CPX?
they're all about 3 inches. They're
Okay.
3.1 inches. I mean, this might be 3 and the other one's 3.1, that type of thing. It's very close. But it's all the same processes, all the same quality, you know, the stainless steel barrels we make ourselves, stainless steel slides we do ourselves. We don't physically squirt the plastic in the molds here. But we have, you know, suppliers that we've used for years that we know do a good job on the grips. But then, you know, everything else is done here: the barrels, the recoil rods, the you know, the takedown pin, you know, that type of thing. So that's it's all done here.
Where are these sold locally?
Most any gun shop would have them. The problem is there's such a crazy demand right now. The demand is so crazy that, you know, they don't always have inventory. The CPX2, you know, without the big rush on guns, the CPX2 usually goes for right around $200, but now they're getting full boat retail out of them, you know, maybe $240. But they're nowhere to be found. Once they come in, they are, you know, immediately go out. And so I have my distributors buy them by the thousands, and they send me every week. They send me their inventory levels, and you know, for people that buy them by the thousands, they have, you know, usually have less than 300 if they have that many in stock. So, you know, we keep building these guns and keep putting them out and keep trying to, you know, make sure that people are getting them so they can get them out to the stores and sell them. So it would just depend, you know, on who has inventory at the moment.
So I'm seeing the DVG that you say
Yep.
you don't have that many of yet. That has a capacity of 10+1.
Yep, it uses
Is
the
it-
same magazines as our other guns, our other 9mm, our CPX 1s and 2s, and they are all 10+1.
And that's a single action trigger?
The DVG different. That'll be more like the typical striker feel that we're all accustomed to, like the Glock or the
Okay.
Springfield or the M&P, you know, those mechanisms. So it's you know, I'm looking forward to that one, you know, being out in bulk numbers, because I think we'll probably end up moving towards that rather than the double action. Our double action guns will have a place, but at the moment, you know, it's just really exciting that we're coming out with our own striker version, you know, our own striker pistol.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'll be looking for that one.
Yeah. What, so I was, that's kind of the tour. I mean, we have, you know, we have the manufacturing, we have the assembly, we have packaging and shipping. It's kind of funny, you know, we talked about, you asked Barry at one time if we did tours, and honestly, that was the extent of it right there. You know, you could be making car parts in the machine shop, it looks the same, but then, you know, this is the kind of fun part when you get to see them all going in the boxes and heading out to customers.
Well, if somebody was to come over there, they wouldn't be allowed to take the tour you just gave
No,
us.
we
would
don't
they?
do tours. No. So that's the kind of
Probably
the point I'm
for
making.
insurance reasons and maybe some security too.
Well, yeah, and honestly, it's yeah. I mean, it's once you see it cut you know, once you see a CNC machine cut a piece of metal, it looks like every other piece of metal. You know.
Yeah.
But the fun part is the test. You know, the test range. It's funny. People think of a range and they think a test range looks like, you know, ranges that you and I would go to, or that we would all go to out, you know, an indoor range or an outdoor range, and it looks nothing like that. It's a little tiny room with a backstop and a whole bunch of earmuffs in there, so people can throw earmuffs on and test guns. And it's literally, there's no targets or anything. It's literally just, you know, run 6 rounds through the gun to make sure it functions.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Larry, you
So-
had a whole list of questions for Scott.
What you got, Larry?
Unmute there. Well, you as VP of Sales, what challenges have you had to overcome during this crazy 2020 year?
Well, you know, it's the same as everywhere else. We've got 2020 has thrown some extra wrenches in the works. You know, over and above what was done in the past. You know, during election years or during a rush year of some kind. So obviously, early on this year, we started getting the COVID issues. The biggest thing that affected us right then was when our distributors would have to shut down their receiving because you know, they would have someone test positive and they'd have to go through and they'd have to clean, they'd have to sanitize everything. They would have to you know, spread the workstations out, you know, and that type of thing, and be able to get back to receiving product. And so we had pallets of guns sitting here that someone couldn't take. Well, we had to maneuver them somewhere. Everyone was willing to take them, as you can imagine. But, you know, it's just making sure that we kept the flow going here at Sky. And that was our initial challenge. And then, you know, we've been hot and heavy ever since. Our crew is running 7 days a week. You know, we're cutting parts 7 days a week. They're assembling 6 or 7 days a week, but they can only ship out like 5 days a week. So there are certain days when we ship a lot more than others, but you can tell that's usually after a weekend and that type of thing. But, you know, so the biggest challenges are just the same as all the other firearms companies and most people in manufacturing is raw materials, making sure you have raw materials, making sure you have that bar stock, making sure you got the aluminum bar stock, making sure that your molding companies are continually sending you grips and that type of thing. And then, you know, just keeping everybody in the factory happy and healthy, doing their thing, doing what they know how to do.
Yes, Scott, I imagine you as VP of Sales, you're getting a lot of distributor calls or dealer calls saying, hey, we're ready to sell them, send them to us. And you probably have to keep up a good public relations going there.
You know, the funniest one that I get from people is, you know, why do you guys quit? Why'd you quit making guns? You know, why are you, you know, I heard you're going, you know, and then the other one, you know, well, that one's funny just because I just think to myself, like, seriously, you think we've stopped making guns?
And
Say that again.
I didn't hear it either. If someone else had a comment or question. Well, I understood, Scott, that all the manufacturing, other than what you outsource locally, all your manufacturing is in Florida, that you did have a facility in Tennessee.
Yeah, we did have a facility in Tennessee. They were looking at increasing the manufacturing there, and I think Joe ultimately wanted to move all the manufacturing up there and buy himself a cabin in the woods type of a
Sure.
thing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you know, something we all like the idea of, but it turns out that the manufacturing up there, the manufacturing was great. We were putting out great parts and pieces and stuff, but some of the local what was going on locally made it difficult to find qualified employees and that type of thing. There was also a plant that built a lot of parts and pieces for Toyota locally, and their starting pay was probably $18 an hour. And so you're getting a few problems there. One is you know, people have options as far as the skilled labor pool, the people that are good at making those things and running the machines had multiple places they could go. So you really had to up the labor costs, which, you know, you might find good folks, but man, you got to be profitable regardless, you know? So,
Yes.
that was one of the issues. And then just having it up there and having the barrels and everything needing to be shipped back down here, just really, it didn't work out like they'd envisioned.
Who
And so
does
they
the
just,
heat treating?
heat treat is here locally as well. So we can, send that out for heat treat. In our R&D department, we do have an oven where we can do our own parts and pieces for a quick turnaround, but it's not for both parts and pieces. But it's just for, working on prototypes and things like that.
Oh, polymer parts.
I'm sorry, say it again.
The polymer parts, the non-metal parts.
Oh, the polymer products are actually, eventually they're going to be molded here, but they're now molded off-site and shipped in, at a molder.
Scott, can you share any special protocols you might have with law enforcement, BATF, et cetera?
What do you mean by that? Like protocol?
Well, I mean, you're not manufacturing auto parts. You're manufacturing firearms.
So in the process that I showed you, we have the receivers, the little aluminum blocks that I showed you, where they, I'll show you just real quick here. So
You said that's what becomes serialized.
that part there, where are we here? Okay, so you see that I have the stainless slide, and then just under that is the aluminum block that goes in the grip, and that is the serialized part. So what happens is as the part is finished, that serial number goes on, and then it's immediately put in the books as far as that is becoming a firearm. We're very careful about that. That is when that firearm exists, whether it's that little block by itself or whether it's a completed assembled pistol. So that's something that we have to be very careful of and keep on our records, because that's the beginning of that pistol. I mean, that's when it exists. Like, it's like an AR-15 receiver or something. You can have a strip receiver. They don't care. It's still a gun, type of thing.
Now, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, are you also looking into this micro stamping nonsense?
No, not in the least. No, that's kind of an impossibility. It's, yeah, no.
No.
Yeah. I think you understand what I mean when I say
I do.
Yeah. Because then we've also got certain states and things that require, for example, California, you need to be on the list to be able to sell, and there's been no new guns on the list in California. The latest one that I've been talking to is Maryland. Apparently you can get on that list fairly easily, but they don't have any of the funky requirements like that. They just have you send one in and they test it, and if it fires 10 rounds successfully, apparently it's approved. So that's kind of worth maybe trying or entertaining the idea of, but when they ask you to jump through all these other hoops and things, it's not worth it.
How's your international business?
Right now we're not outwardly pursuing any. We're not actively pursuing any exportation anywhere. I mean, we can't make enough as it is. Why would we care to send them everywhere else or jump through those hoops?
Well, Scott, this is Larry once again. One of the things I would hear about probably through the internet, Facebook and stuff like that SCCY is a point and shoot, a defensive weapon, and don't worry about the accuracy. You're going to have to break it in and things like that. So I took mine out to 50 yards and was able to put it within an 8-inch circle. So I was very impressed with the accuracy.
You were concentrating.
Well, I was on target.
Yeah, no, that's good. I found that when they first offered me the position, I had them send me guns, just because of everything you just talked about, right? I had them send me a 380 and a 9mm. Luckily, one of the other things that I do in the industry as far as shooting goes is I'm on the Hornady shooting team. If you go to their website, I'm on there somewhere. You just got to dig around. I'm definitely not one of the big guys. I'm not Doug Koenig, or I'm not, any of these other I'm not Jerry or anything like that, but I am on the shooting team, and that allowed me to have a pretty decent supply of 380. So when they sent me the 9mm and the 380, first weekend I put 500 rounds through the 9mm just to make sure it ran, because if we all bank on our reputation, that means a lot to us, especially in the firearms industry. It's a small industry, and so I wanted to make sure that my that I could represent SCCY as far as the quality of the pistol and everything else. And they sent me the gun, and I put 500 rounds through it that first weekend. And, luckily they sent me some extra mags, because, load them, 2 mags at a time, that would have sucked. But they ran and they shot, and I shot, where I live. I work remotely, but I live in Utah, and where I live in Utah, I can put a torso at 100 yards. And so I put a torso at 50 yards, and I put a torso at 100 yards. Now, was I hitting the 100-yard torso as often as I would with my $3,500 competition pistol? No. But I was shooting a 3-inch, 9mm, double action pistol. So I was hitting it probably out of 10 shots. I could hit it between 4 and 6 times on average. And I had to focus. I had to do my job. But, the fact that it could do that was pretty impressive to me, and the fact that it just ran the whole time, So I had a couple little hiccups here and there, but I definitely, I have hiccups with my match guns. I mean, I think we all understand how that works, So I felt very good about the quality and the accuracy. And then that same week, later in the week, I put 700 rounds through the 380, and it's kind of weird to think that someone would have that much 380 sitting around, but I did. So I, put it through there, and I felt good about it, because here's what that does. Here's what these SCCY pistols do, is they fill a niche, or they meet a requirement for certain people where they might be priced out of personal protection should they, if it wasn't for their SCCY pistol,
Right.
Yep. Very good. Yeah, I would like to see SCCY. When I go down to Eustis Gun Club, IDPA, I don't see SCCY there at all, either in a bug division or optics.
We had been talking with, I've been talking with Kitty at IDPA, and talking about doing some bug stuff. I was supposed to go to Nationals last year, but didn't they cancel it last year?
Yeah.
In the fall, or no, in the spring, I think. This
Yeah.
last year in 2020.
Right.
Yeah, Kitty and I had been talking. I've been shooting IDPA for a long time. I hadn't been for the last few years, but I think my last classification card, I think Joyce Wilson signed it for me.
Right.
So that was kind of fun. I keep that just for fun, but yeah, you're right. I would love to see it utilized in in some of the bug gun divisions, because you could, and it shoots well. And maybe this, hopefully the DVG, our striker pistol coming up here, will be something that even more people use, because while we've all shot revolvers, a lot of people, there's a whole generation of shooters that never really have shot revolvers, and all they're accustomed to is how a striker pistol feels.
Yes. Exactly.
So, Scott, how long has SCCY been in business approximately?
17 years.
17 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think they had some startup problems, because I know somebody that had a problem with their SCCY, and I went
Yeah.
down to a place in Dade City, Bruce Stout Firearms, and he told me that if anybody has problems with the SCCY firearm, that they could just send it back and they'll send you a new one for free, and they did.
Well,
So
here's the deal. Some of the early serial numbers are still replaced without question, just because there were early questions and things. There were a few problems. They had a policy where there was a few things that were where they would replace. I think at one time they had the, if you, geez, who knows? I think they said if it was ever stolen, show them the police report, or if it ever fell out of the boat, or if it ever, there was all kinds of silly stuff, and they were getting taken advantage of a little. And then the ATF actually stepped in and was like, take it easy on sending new guns out all the time. But we still have a very liberal, I said that, I did, listen to the context. I still have a very liberal customer service policy where we'll do what we can to help you get your gun up and running.
Yeah, and this was an older gun that I'm talking about.
That makes sense. I believe
And-
that would be the case.
I will
And,
second that with magazines. I had issues. I had gotten the 2, and I guess I got a 3rd one as an extra, and all of them with improper feeding. The phone call, I immediately got 3 replacements sent out, and you could physically see a difference with them, and they worked beautifully. But there was no.
Wait, how long ago was that, Larry?
That was over a year ago.
Yeah, well, that makes sense because we did have a few. We had some where the feed lips, like you said, you can see the difference.
Yes.
We had some where the feed lips were not right, and then we got a new jig for fixing those. And yeah, so we did the best we could to make sure people that were having issues got those new magazines.
Yeah, there was
as
no
well.
issue about sending them back or whatever. It was immediate sent out, and it was great.
Right.
Wonderful.
Good.
Service.
So
Good.
did you
what?
fix the old ones, Larry?
No,
Did
they're
you
just
keep them?
no. I'd rather shoot than become a repairman.
Ha ha. I'm with you.
Hey, doesn't hurt to have an extra mag or 2.
That's right. That's right. Well, now and then, you can maybe try to make the lips the same, dimensions and things like that. It might work out.
Yeah.
But no, we work real hard to make sure that people are happy with the product, and especially, at a product at our price point, man, the quality is crazy. And like I said, the attention to detail and the customer service that we like to provide. I often get where I'm at. I have our distributors, they'll send me an email that says, hey, these guys, they were missing the screws for their red dot sight. Can you, and it's usually a dealer because it goes from us to the distributor to the dealer. And then that's how I would hear about it. And I immediately, it only takes a minute for the most part. Like for example, this morning, I called a dealer in Pennsylvania just to confirm exactly what they needed. And I let them know, and I let our customers know that, our distributor customers know that we'll get that sent out right away. And you guys know how it is. Just a little bit of attention goes a long way, and it doesn't take hardly any effort on my part,
Perfect.
So, yeah.
So Larry, did you get your sponsorship out of this?
What do you need? Travel expenses and ammo. We'll do that. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Every major IDPA match in the East Coast. Sure. Yeah, we got you.
The Lake County meets the first Saturday of every month. So the sign up is on the 15th prior to it. And you would be a wonderful person to, be there and participate.
I'd have fun. Let me, I'd have
But
fun with that.
don't you live in Utah?
Yes, sir. I live in Salt Lake, but I mean, I have to be here. I'm here about every 3 weeks at the factory for the week. And man, it wouldn't be hardly anything at all to, stay an extra couple of days. I just realized that doesn't Manny Bragg, the Volusia something range, isn't he near Daytona?
It would be, yeah.
Have you guys,
I've
know of Manny?
Yeah, I've only been shooting IDPA down at Lake County Eustis Gun Club, which is down in Traveris.
Hey, where was that Space Coast match? I think you and I, or we had maybe talked about that, or maybe Barry and I talked about that. I don't know, but the Space Coast IDPA, wasn't that like last week or the week, or maybe it's this week?
Yeah, I think it was last weekend. So there's definitely as you say, the top tier. I'm probably in the bottom third when it comes to, when you get your scores back.
Yeah.
But yeah, the top third of the
Right.
people, they really follow and get out and do that.
Oh, funny. I go in between IDPA matches usually a year or two and then end up going back. I shot bug gun nationals a few times. I shot indoor nationals and outdoor nationals quite a bit early on. And I swear, even now, I go back and I relearn IDPA 3 seconds at a time.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Procedural, what? What are you talking about? Yeah.
Right. You don't want to see someone holding a finger.
Yeah. I hate that. Put that finger down. Stop it.
For
Funny.
those of us that don't shoot IDPA, could you tell us what the finger means?
Proceed.
If you don't, yeah, procedural penalty. So if you come out from behind cover too much, or if you don't retain a magazine, or if you shoot something out of order that is specified in the course of fire, then they give you that. You get one of those, and
Get
what
the
that
finger.
means is that's one procedural, and then with me, I usually start getting this and this and this, So there's 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, So.
Do they keep all 4 fingers up when they do the first?
I've only had them have to close their hand and put up one, like they went through all 5 and then they had to go back to this. I've only had them do that one time, but it was at a major match, so it didn't help me any.
Well, I think what Larry was looking at, I don't know if we talked about it or not exactly, but weren't you looking for maybe Sky to sponsor IDPA or something?
Well, I'm thinking as far as the Lake County IDPA, they had their tier 2 match recently, and it would be nice to have some hats or some type of representation from Sky. And next year they'll reach out to you and see if there's something that.
Oh yeah, have them do it. What I'll do is usually, I'm the one that shoots competitively, but I'll push it through marketing as well, and we'll see what kind of materials and what kind of stuff we have. Did any of you watch the show Top Shot
Once in a
I have
while
not.
when it was
on the History Channel? Remember that?
on.
We had a guy named Chris Serino. Chris was on Top Shot. He's a cop out of like the Dayton area, I think. And he was Chris had been an air marshal and had done some other things, and he's a heck of a shooter and a heck of a nice guy. But he was second in the first season of Top Shot with Ian Harrison. He's the editor of Recoil now, but he was second behind Ian in the first season. And then when they did their all-star season, he was second again. But Chris is just top-notch guy, top-notch shooter. And he has come to work for us. And so because I'm just one person, sometimes it's hard to get everywhere we'd like to be. And so sometimes, now that we have Chris on board, he can go do some things that, whether it's dealer trainings or distributor trainings or dealer days or events like, like you're saying, like the IDPA match or any number of things, we're getting to where we can get people out a little more.
Scott,
So
did you already send Larry a hat?
No, not yet. Not yet. Oh, look at that. He got one though, didn't he?
Oh yeah,
He did.
Oh man, I like it.
absolutely.
I like it.
Well,
Good.
Scott, once our clubs start opening up here in Oak Run, Ocala, Central Florida, do you have a manufacturer representative or someone that could come to one of our meetings and perhaps do a show and tell, have some firearms and
we're very short. We don't have reps because we only sell to distributors, because the people know, the dealers that want to buy the guns know where to go to get the guns.
Yeah.
I am the sales department. And, but like I said, you never know, we might be able to get Chris to swing in and do one of those things, but we don't have a group of reps per se.
Okay.
So things are a little tight sometimes, as long as if we know far enough in advance and if we can make it work, but with everybody's schedule, how it is, everybody's got stuff going on. And, I'm not going to say we can't, but I'm not going to promise you that we can.
Right.
But we can definitely, if we don't talk about it, we'll never know. Right.
Correct.
So
Barry is very
anyhow,
good
so
at
where
scheduling.
you guys. Okay. Yeah. He did a good job here.
Well, we are in Ocala, so where does Chris live?
Well, he's in Ohio. He's right now, in fact, he's down at Coral Gables, but he and I both travel, and that's kind of our existence, being in sales is we'll go to where we need to go type of a thing. So, whether it's we work it in with a trip to the factory, and then he comes down and sees you guys, or we do, or who knows, but like I said, the problem is right now everything's so crazy that I wouldn't make any kind of promise like that to you, just the way things are.
Well, plus you don't really need sales now anyway.
No, but you know, we like to build the brand. That's it. You know, it's fun
Exactly.
to talk about, fun to go out and show people what we do.
Yeah, there's probably some people even in our membership that never heard of Sky Guns.
Oh yeah, I believe it. You know, but like I said, when I first came on, our owner, Joe Roebuck, was great because he talked about how he didn't pretend the gun was something it's not. Like I said, it's not going to take the place of my $3,500, you know, custom built pistol, right? But he doesn't claim that it will. It's a workhorse. It's here because people, you know, need to be able to protect themselves. They need to be able to take advantage of the Second Amendment. You know, you guys know the whole thing that we're going through now. You know, when seconds count, police are only minutes away, right? So we got to watch out for ourselves and our families. And you know, a single mom with a restraining order, you know, I mean, she may not be able to afford the latest, greatest, you know, $700 carry pistol, you know?
Right.
So,
Who else has questions? So you have those samples coming to us?
oh yeah, every color.
How about a website?
Sky.com, SCCY.com.
Okay, good.
Yep. So,
Yeah, they got all the models on there.
Can you turn this off?
yeah, and you can see the DVG on there as well. Hey, Bob, did you take a spill? What happened to your forehead there?
Bob,
Yes,
what happened to your forehead?
I had a fight with the floor.
Uh-oh. Did you make out okay?
Yeah,
Apparently he's on the meeting.
right
Yeah,
there.
I know, right? Good to see him. Yeah. Well, this is kind of fun. How often do you guys meet?
Well, we meet once a month,
That's
and
what happens
we
when
we
you get
would prefer to meet at the clubs that we normally meet, but COVID has closed all the clubs in our community here, so
Okay.
we're not allowed to have meetings there right
Oh.
now.
Okay. Yeah. Huh. You have to go into a park or something out where everybody can sit at the, you know, sit 6 feet away.
Yeah, but it's cold
Although-
out.
Although, yeah. Oh my gosh. I just looked at that this morning. It was 70 degrees. I was like, oh, it's frigid. Yeah.
Yeah,
But the funny thing is, I really did say that because it was like, oh man, it's usually.
exactly.
58 degrees when I woke up.
Wow.
Oh.
So you guys are the Ocala Gun Club. So where exactly, how far are you, for example? I'm here in Daytona. How far?
2 hours door to door from your plant.
East Coast?
We're central.
Central.
Okay.
We're off
All
of
right.
75.
State Road 40 all the way, and you're here.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
State Road 40. I can't talk.
Road
State
40.
Road 40 is correct.
Good. Well, I tell you what, you guys, I've enjoyed getting to talk to you. I hope I answered the questions I could. You know, everything's just busy. Everybody's working hard, doing their thing. Everybody's got their meetings and all their stuff. I was hoping to show you a little bit more of the different colors and stuff we have available, but our conference room where all that stuff is has been occupied the whole time. And then I got to go over to Volusia Top Gun and put some rounds through our striker pistol. So, you know, I really appreciate you guys having me. It's been fun talking with you, and I hope we can do it again.
But when do you think that striker pistol will be in full production?
Probably,
Approximately.
hopefully within the next couple of months,
Okay.
we'll be shipping large numbers. Like I said, we're taking those machines that we've designated that have been running 380 parts, and we're switching them over to this new pistol just because the demand for 9mm pistols is so much higher, and this new product, it's very, very high as well at the moment. So.
Do you use it all stainless steel for your barrels?
Yes, sir. Yep,
What-
all stainless.
And
Stainless steel for the
how hard
sides.
is that hard?
You know, I don't know the exact number when by the time we get it back from heat treatment. You sound like you worked in manufacturing.
No, but I had a machine shop and did a lot of work.
Yeah. You're asking the questions, I can tell. I can't tell you exactly how hard it gets, but I just know, like I said, we have a spot where we cut the bar stock to the right lengths, and then they send it out for that heat treat, and then they bring it back in here and get to work on it. So
I have
I'm
used
sorry, I
the
don't.
heat treater in Daytona.
I believe it is. Yeah. Do you know of?
I forget the name of it.
I think
But
does
I've
it
used it a couple
start with
times.
does it start with a B?
Don't remember.
Yeah, me neither right now. So, but yeah, we keep everything in house, and we're pretty vertically integrated, and it helps us because we don't get a lot of bottlenecks, waiting on parts and pieces. So
Very good, Scott. Thanks for doing this for us. We appreciate it.
no problem. You guys are great. Don't be strangers. If there's any questions, reach out. You got my email, and if I don't answer immediately, I'll get back to you.
Well, we'll let you know when the clubs are open again, and maybe we can start working on sometime we can get together in person.
I'd like that. We'll have a little range time.
Meet them halfway
Well,
in the forest.
They
Yeah,
kind of
bring
frown on that at the clubs.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, but we can go have some range time, but you got to bring your own ammo lately. Holy cow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? It's crazy. I saw today that Vista Outdoors, who owns Federal, is literally $1 billion back ordered in ammunition.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
because
So,
they're selling so much?
but they're just getting so many orders, and it's all coming. I mean, they're building at capacity, and that's how much is in demand.
That Biden is a great salesman. Isn't he?
The shotgun shells on order for a month now.
Oh yeah, I ordered shotgun shells the other day for myself and Joe to go out and shoot some trap, and I ordered Rio 9-shot because it was actually in stock. So usually I'll 7.5s or 8s, but I ordered 9 because they had 5 flats of it. So anyway, well, hey, I got to run. You guys have a great rest of the day. Thank you for taking some time to talk and take a little tour of Sky. We appreciate you, and take a look at the website and things, and hopefully we can touch base again.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, take care, you guys.
Thank you, Scott.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Anybody have anything before we go?
No, but thank you for putting it together.
Not a problem.
Yeah, nice job, Barry.
Not a
Right.
problem.
Good morning, Tony.
I think next
Goodbye.
month we're going to have FN firearms, possibly.
Nice.
FN. Anybody got an FN?
I do.
They're expensive. Well,
Used.
look what we're talking
I bought mine used.
Hmm.
Wasn't that bad?
to. I understand. They are expensive.
Barry, what was the name of the new model they're coming out with?
It's called a DVG.
PVT?
No, DVG.
Okay,
David versus Goliath.
right.
Can you believe they actually named it that after that?
That's right.
Pretty cool.
Nice.
I wonder who they're going after with that.
If I'm gonna buy a Sky, that probably is gonna be the one right there because
They
it's
both
striker
come
fire.
with red dot as well.
Yeah.
What are their price ranges, Barry? Do you know?
Well, the
Under
This is
400.
About
what
four,
happened?
in a 400 range?
Under 400.
Under 4.
The DVG, I have the suggested manufacturer's price. The DVG 1RD with red dot is $389. That comes with the red dot on it. That's an unbelievable price with a red dot on it in
And how much was it, Barry?
$389.
Really?
Yeah, but they don't have very many of those right now yet.
Yeah. Oh, I
Said a
understand.
couple months. And then the DVG one, that's without the red dot, would be $289.
Mhm.
And then of course, both those prices would be lower in the store because that's, it's always less than manufacturer suggested, at
Lower
least in normal times.
Good. Sounds good.
Anything else? Okay, meeting adjourned. Bye, everybody.
Adios.
So long, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Adios.
Bye-bye.